I'm Robin Kaplan, one of the co-chairs of the Post Grants Committee. While you're watching this on tape, we recently had the opportunity to actually spend time in person with the folks you're about to meet. And it's been taped by our in-house cinematographer, Wendy Kronmiller, who, lucky for me, is my PG co-chair. We're thrilled to introduce you to two of the 2021-22 grantees and hope to give you an idea of the wonderful work they've been doing this year. First, you'll meet Rachel Neal, the Director of Community Service with GEDCO Cares. And who would be better to interview Rachel than our post-grants liaisons, Joan, Cohen, and Jackie Donowitz, who have been working with GEDCO Cares this past year. Ladies?
Hi, Rachel. It's great to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Let me start by asking you, what have you done with the grant money that the Giving Circle has given you this year? What has it enabled you to do, and what could you not have done if you hadn't had the grant?
Sure. So we used the money, most of the money, just for direct service eviction prevention. So we were helping people pay their rent when they had threat of eviction. And so most specifically, there are 28 women whose rent we paid who stayed housed, who wouldn't have. It was part of our larger eviction prevention program where since July, 210 families have received funds from us that kept them housed. So it was really an important part of that. And it's just it's pieced together with the other funding that we've had. It's enabled us not to turn anyone away this year. There have other years we've had, when people come for help, sometimes we have funding and sometimes we don't for eviction, and it's nice not to have to say, sorry, we're out of funds. It really made a huge difference this year of all years when there's been such a big need.
And so what has inspired you to be here and work with these people and work with this program?
Well, I do find it inspiring here almost every day. Because the people who come for help, they are so strong. The women who come to us who are facing these huge problems, they're just showing so much strength. And I see them dealing with, figuring out how to get help from us and many other agencies too at the same time, and keeping their head up. And many of them do come back to us afterwards to say, thank you, I'm back on my feet. Some people come back and actually volunteer here. And that keeps you going. Stuff like that.
And is there anything else you'd like the Giving Circle to know about you? About either donating product or?
Well, yeah. So we, in addition to the eviction prevention, we have the food pantry. And we always need donations of groceries and grocery bags. Actually, right this minute, we're low on grocery bags, so that would be something, especially sturdy ones. And so we give out groceries. We have help with utility bill assistance for people who have their power's about to be turned off or has been turned off. We have a job search program, and some of the people who come for financial assistance find out about our job search program and sign up on the spot. And that's another important thing that we do. We're always looking for volunteers in that program, people who want to work one-on-one with job seekers through that process of making a resume and putting in the applications. So basically, I want people to know that we do a lot of stuff and we need a lot of help, volunteers and donations.
Thank you. And
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Through the magic of videography and Jeff Davis, we're here with Nick Brooks and Kat Sipes of Soccer Without Borders, Maryland, who'll be talking with Wendy, who's one of our post-grants liaisons for the program, along with Barbara Epke.
Hey guys, it's so good to see you in person. And I'm so sorry that Barbara couldn't make it. Yep.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. It's great to see you.
So we have a few questions for you, and thank you for your time on this rainy afternoon when the kids can't be out. What has the Circle Grant allowed Soccer Without Borders to do that you otherwise might not have been able to do?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle Grant has allowed us to do is really just grow our staff and really being able to focus our staff on building and growing our girls program. So as we're trying to grow our girls program, one of the most important things is making sure that they have female and women role models So whether that's program managers like myself, coordinators, up to us coaches, volunteers who are coming all the time, it kind of just trickles all the way down, and really providing those positions, I think, grows the whole program and really empowers girls to continue coming.
Could you tell us a little bit about your history, your personal history with the program, and what brings you here every day?
Yeah, so I actually started with Soccer Without Borders about 8 years ago as a volunteer. I was looking for any kind of opportunity with a sports-based youth development program, some way to connect with young people in our community, and give back a little bit. And I heard about our family mentoring program at Soccer Without Borders, which essentially matches volunteers with entire families, and specifically with young folks in the program that just need a little bit more support in their journey to acclimating to life in Baltimore, and forming a new life in these new communities of theirs. It was a life-changing experience. I learned so much from the young people that I worked with.
And Kat?
Yeah, actually similar to Nick, I also started as a volunteer. So also similar to Nick, around 8 years ago, I started volunteering just with the high school boys, doing academic support on the weekends. And I like to think of it as kind of a parallel growth. So as the organization grew, I also was just trying to grow in my own position professionally, and that kind of ended up being what the girls program is today. So the program grew and grew and supported more and more girls and women, and we also on the same side grew and supported women coaches and staff as well. So as the female coaching and staff support grew, we were able to support more girls. So yeah, kind of started with high school boys, went through the middle school program, co-ed programs as well, into our summer programs, and am now coaching the high school girls.
Well, that's great. Really, just in closing, could you give us an example of a success story or something that you're proud of?
Sure. So just to frame, our three big pillars at Soccer Without Borders are soccer and sport engagement, education, and community building. And everything that Coach Kat just talked about is so true about the close relationships that many young folks have formed starting at middle school and now are in high school. So it's incredibly powerful to see, especially with the support of groups like the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle, what we can do from the lens of community building. Going out to different events, being able to accept invitations to different spaces, put 40 kids onto a bus and just allow the relationships and the touch points that our coaches and volunteers and mentors have to just really form the closest and best experiences for young people. It's been really great to see firsthand what can happen when we all kind of get back in person, and all the energy that's in this community, what we can do when we just have more flexibility to go out and explore this community together and really grow. I know Kat knows a lot about that experience.
Yeah, I think a big success story, and just something that I'm very proud of is and actually one of the participants is right here in the middle. Her name's Aya. Her and another participant, Layla, when I was with the middle school program, it was a co-ed program. So girls were competing with and against boys. And they kind of just like self-led, self-motivated, wanted to form this all-girls team. And they self-named themselves GG, which stands for Girls' Generation. So I kind of started with them in middle school, and they have since grown. They're juniors now in high school, so they have grown a tremendous amount, just like on the field and off the field, as leaders, as support for their teammates, and really just throughout the whole community. And it's been amazing to watch them grow, and just remember kind of how they started as a group together.
Yeah, and there is nothing better than watching some of those high school girls coach the new generation of GG, and those new middle school girls kind of learning from that mentorship.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Well, great. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
We hope that this Post-Grants Road Tour has inspired you. It was such a challenge to select only 2 grantees to showcase. The past 2 years have been such a challenge to all nonprofit organizations. They've had to pivot and adapt just to keep their doors open. Their works are more important than ever, though. So thanks to all Circle members for your continued support of these good works in our community. We also want to especially thank our post-grant liaisons. Throughout the pandemic, you have been there with our grant recipients. Establishing and keeping connections in a remote world is hard. We've had to find the right Zoom link. We've had to find the mute button. We've had to find it again to unmute. We look forward to working with you again next year and being back together soon.
The end. You can stop.